Good morning, sir. Good morning to all. I am Adarsh Kumar, Role 22. I am from ECE Department, second year, third semester of MCKV Institute of Engineering. Our topic for environmental science PowerPoint presentation is marine pollution. I have done this PowerPoint presentation under the guidance of respected teacher, Mr. Somajit Gorai, sir. Now I will start with the introduction. Ocean cover about 71% of the Earth's surface in the form of river, sea, and waterfalls. Ocean play an important role in the chemical and biological balance of the life on Earth as they absorb 50 times more carbon dioxide than our atmosphere and also regulates Earth's climate change. They are vital to our food security, commerce, and transportation. Phytoplankton are responsible for at least 50% of the oxygen on Earth. What is marine pollution? It is defined as the discharge of waste substances into the sea, resulting in harm to living resources, hazards to human health, hindrance to fisheries, and impairment of quality for use of seawater. Marine pollution is a combination of chemicals and discarded materials, most of which comes from land sources and is washed or blown into the sea, which consists of heavily light and dissolvable particles. Marine pollution is associated with the changes in physical, chemical, and biological condition of the seawater. Marine litter or marine debris is a human created waste that has deliberately or accidentally been released in the sea or ocean. These are the waste which are debris every year in the ocean or sea from which plastic and polystyrene pieces are debris about 39% in the ocean. Pollutant sources. What is pollutant? Pollutant can simply define as a material which causes pollution. The following are the important pollutants that causes the marine pollution. Sewage, pesticides or chemical fertilizer, plastic waste, metallic waste, oil spill, sediment plumes, heat, radioactive waste, dredge spoil. Among all these pollutant sources, plastic waste is the biggest source of pollution which ends up in the sea or ocean by dumping or land runoff or by other ways. There are 5.25 trillion pieces of plastic debris in the ocean. All of that 26 lakh 9,000 tons float at the surface, while some 4 billion plastics microfibers per square kilometer in the deep sea. Sewage. Sewage is a liquid waste which has water as its largest component, along with various types of impurities like wastewater from houses, offices, factories, hospitals, is called sewage. It is a complex mixture containing suspended soils, organic and inorganic impurities, nutrients, saprotropic, and diseases causing bacteria and other microbes. Sewage may enter by direct drainage from inland towns and industries, tipping at the sea from ships. Effects of sewage eutrophication. It occurs because of increase in chemical nutrients into the water bodies or deoxygenation. The primary cause of deoxygenation are eutrophication and nitrogen deposition from burning of fossil fuels. Coal deposits reduce salinity, infection, and toxic residues. Pesticides. A pesticide is any substance or mixture of substance intended for preventing, destroying, repelling, mitigating pests. Pesticides may enter from the atmosphere after aerial spraying from overland runoff or sprayed area. Effects of pesticides. Pesticides affects food chain directly by reducing the availability of plants and insects that serve as habitat, food for fish and other aquatic animals. Insect-eating fish can lose a portion of their food supply when pesticides are applied. Reduced productive reproduction success of fish and aquatic animals because weedy area act as a nursery. Reduction in dissolved oxygen level. Plastic waste. Over 300 million tons of plastics are produced every year for use in a wide variety of application. At least 8 million tons of plastic end up in the ocean every year and makes up 80% of the marine debris from surface water to deep sea sediments. Plastic waste enters the main source of plastics are land-based, from urban and storm runoff, sewer overflow, beach visitors, inadequate waste disposal and management, industrial activities, illegal dumping. Every year, tons of plastic waste are dumped in ocean around the world, among which top 15 countries dump more number of plastics than other countries, in which India is in the 15th number, which dumps 44 lakh 93,080 tons of plastic every year. Effects of plastic waste. Plastic threatens the existence of life underwater, right from the smaller fishes to the huge mammals and amphibians in several ways that around 1 million seabirds and 1 lakh marine mammals are killed every due to plastic ingestion. Unfortunately, several marine species are on the verge to extinct because of such type of ocean pollution. Consumption of plastic by marine creatures causes severe digestive problems, which goes mainly untreated. Ocean garbage in the form of plastic also leads to invasion of non-indigenous species and organisms in natural occurring marine colonies, thus posing a threat to functioning of ecosystem.
Waste, metallic chemical elements have a relatively high density and toxic or poisonous at low concentration. Example are mercury, lead, nickel, arsenic, cadmium, and so on. Metallic waste can be entered by the marine environment naturally through weathering or earth crust from rivers or by direct drainage discharge through the atmosphere. The use of anti-fouling paint on the bottoms of boats has implicated as a major source of heavy metals in waters. Effects of metallic waste. The metallic compound could disturb the oxygen level and molecules development, biases formation, as well as reproductive processes. These toxic metals can accumulate in the tissues of many species of aquatic life. When we consume such fishes, it will affect our nervous system, kidney, brains, respiratory systems, or even it will lead us to death. The heavy metal overload has inhibitory effects on the development of aquatic organisms like phytoplankton, zooplankton, and fish. Oil spill. Oil may enter the sea water by number of ways as follows. Cargo tankers, washing, and accidental spillage pollute the seawater severely. Bilge pumping at sea, import, oil losses, collision in port, tanker accident, and maritime accident due to collision, fire explosion, or grounding also result in oil release in water. Oil leakage from pipelines, oil waste from oil fields or refineries near the coast. Effects of oil spill. The overall determined effect of oil pollution seawater are as follows. Reduction in dissolved oxygen, reduce in light penetration. Oil spilling causes lethal toxicity to aquatic flora. Smoothing course of oil have killed lichens and algae along the shorelines. Sea otter will die when their fur becomes saturated with oil by losing insulation. Sediment plumes by deep sea mining. Because of deep sea mining, the removing parts of the sea floor disturbs the habitat of benthic organisms. Plumes are caused when the tailing from mining are dumped back into the ocean, creating a cloud of particles floating in the water. There are two types of plumes, near bottom plumes, surface plumes. Heat. The most important source of thermal marine pollution are nuclear power plants and thermal power plants. These power plants use the seawater for cooling. This water is generally returned to the sea at a temperature 11 to 200 degrees Celsius, which is higher than it was initial. Marine heat wave impact changes ranges of species habitat, impact economics of fisheries, boost tropical storms and hurricanes, bleaches coral. Around 93% of heat accumulated by oceans. Radioactive waste, radioactive materials enters to the ocean mainly from following waste, from fallout of nuclear weapons testing, from operating of nuclear reactors through initial and uninitial direct release, mining and processing of ores to produce radioisotopes, emission from industrial use of nuclear energy, leakage from underground nuclear detonation from shaped reactors. Effects of radioactive waste. All lives in the ocean live with the exposure to natural level of ionizing radiation, which is high frequency, which enough energy to change the DNA of organism. Radioactive contaminants seawater will consumed by plants during photosynthesis act as a medium for radioactivity in them. By this, radionuclide enter into the food chain of marine water. When we consume this radionuclide fishes, it will cause us cancer, leukemia, eye, cataract, DNA breakage, and kericoma in humans. Red spoil. Dredge soil refers to the unconsolidated, randomly mixed sediments composed of rock soil or shell materials extracted and deposited during dredging and dumping activities. Often, they also contain sewage or industrial waste solids and solids from street runoff. Consequently, this often contain obscenal amount of hazardous chemical pathogens or oil and may exert a high oxygen demand on the surrounding environment. Effects of dredge soil damage which can be caused by dredging is twofold, that occurring at the dredging site and that occurring at the dredging soil disposal area. Dredging impacts marine organisms negatively through entrainment, habitat degradation, noise, embolliation of contamination, sediments, and increase in suspended sediment concentration. Eggs and larvae are at high risk from entrainment. Prevention and control reutilization, recycling, renovation and recharge of the waste, minimize discharge of untreated sewage, ban single-use plastic and adopt litter control policies, control chemical and industrial pollution, increase funding for marine pollution prevention and control, build local expertise and technical capacity, raise public awareness, establish partnership to address marine pollution, monitor marine pollution in a systematic way. To control the oil pollution, following methods are used: skimming by spreading a high density powder over oil patch. It can be sunk to the bottom. Biodegradation, burning using a suitable absorbing material. Heat can be removed from condenser cooling water prior to their disposal into the marine water. Radioactive waste can be removed or reduced by ion exchange techniques, precipitation of radionuclei. The impact of deep sea mining can be minimized or reduced by using proper mining techniques. Creating awareness on marine pollution, local communities near sea must protect sea. Conclusion: oceans are rich with marine resources like minerals, oil, and marine life, and the seafood supplies met a sustainable food requirement of the world population. If the marine life affected by the pollution and if they carry pollutants in its biomass, the human population may get impact while consuming such resources, and it's necessary to aware about the marine pollution and protect the marine water from the pollutants. So necessary to prevent and control this pollution. Let us save our ocean and the huge marine ecosystem. I would like to thank respected teacher Mr. Somajit Ghurai sir for helping us with the project. He allowed us to work on this project, and I also want to thank my parents who helped me in finalizing this project within a limited time frame. These are the sites from which I took help. Thank you.